Greetings, family. Thank you all for attending the in-person Hacking the Human Mind. We hope to continue providing you with the required information regarding your digital safety as you operate online. This recording presentation is to help recap what we covered. We are sharing solutions through our call to action presentation to highlight known vulnerabilities that reduce resilience to digital threats in our community. This presentation is designed to remind you of the steps to take to encourage better behavior towards cyber resilient lifestyle for your community. Cybersecurity's entire structure rests on three pillars when it comes to the protection of data. This cybersecurity triad is known as CIA. The C stands for confidentiality, the I stands for integrity, and the A stands for availability. This security model pertains to the security concepts that form the basis for developing security systems. So our call to action is to identify your assets and also identify your critical ones. Once that is done, you need to apply these three pillars in your everyday life for protecting them. Here are the definitions just as a reminder. An asset is anything that has value to someone or a corporation. Critical asset, an asset that is essential and can cause significant impact to a person or a corporation. To start building your security system to be more cyber resilient to attacks, you need to know three things. One, what do you need to protect? Two, what is its value to you? And three, what level of protection is required to keep it safe? For example, we would put more securities on our home than our car, or more security around our kids than our pets. So, what about our mind, which is our greatest asset? Think of what securities you have to put in place to protect your mind from being hacked through social engineering. So, our call to action is to remind you what cybersecurity is. Cybersecurity is defending data and information on equipment, networks, systems from unauthorized access, manipulation, distribution, exposure, and theft. And so our call to action is that our mindset must be attuned to defending our data and information on the digital devices that we use, our online communities we create, our actual minds from the unauthorized access to us, manipulation of our thoughts, the distribution of our data, the exposure of our human nature, and the theft of our lives. Hackers come in many forms: white hats, black hats, gray hats, and a few other flavorful colors of hackers and their purpose for causing to seek vulnerabilities for discovery or exploitation. The purpose is to find vulnerability and know its level of exploitability. Now imagine the hackers today represent like this picture you see here. The real hackers, the tech companies, social media platforms that have successfully socially engineered us into giving up our data for free and without a fight. We talked about a few dangers in the workshop that are associated with regular and excessive use of social media. We'll address those with our call to action to help you resolve or mitigate them. We first want to address mental health issues, which has created a list of problems in our community. We will address some of these issues like social isolation, low self esteem, addiction, and decreased emotional well being. So, to combat these challenges, we recommend our call to action is to create a scheduled time on your devices Find offline things to do. Spend more time with loved ones or join social groups that meet in person. And if these tips and others that you may try may have little to no impact on your condition from excessive use, please seek medical support from a counselor or therapist. The second danger we want to address regarding social media is the fraud and scams that are plaguing our community. Hackers are targeting our elders, business owners, children, and others who unknowingly leave themselves open to these types of attacks. When it comes to phishing emails, our call to action is to help you spot them by explaining the characteristics of a phishing email. This will give you more informed decision on how to deal with them and create a sense of online awareness to avoid falling victim to online scams. We first want to state that any email from anyone that you do not know as a legitimate company or person must be viewed as a possible phishing email. If the email creates a sense of urgency or demand immediate action to rush the recipient into making an impulse decision, this could be a possible phishing email. If the email addresses look legitimate but are having misspelled words, slight variations in the domain name, this could be a red flag as a phishing email. If the email contains odd requests such as money transfers or business information, or even asking for personal information such as your username, password, and other sensitive data, these are all characteristics of a phishing email. In addition, please do the following steps towards phishing emails. Avoid clicking on any links or downloading attachments. Do not provide personal information or reply to the email. Mark the email as spam or phishing in your email provider. Consider reporting the email to your organization's IT or security team. Finally, delete the email from your inbox. While being social online, cyberstalking poses another serious danger. It can lead to physical threats, violence, and invasion of privacy. Victims can suffer from a variety of emotional and psychological harm. Our call to action is to use the block and report options on the platforms you are using. Report any suspicious or harassing behavior to the owners and to the authorities. Google yourself often. See what the world can find out about you, and then limit what you share about your private life online. For businesses, share what is needed to make the sale. Try not to overexpose your company to unwanted attacks. Also, work on training your staff in cybersecurity awareness because they also can pose a threat to your company. Through relaxed or non-existent IT policies, for example, proper use of company computer. And always seek help from law enforcement or online safety resources if needed. And this call to action is very important. This one is addressing online grooming. Online grooming is the process where an individual builds a relationship with a child or a young person over social media with the intent of sexually exploiting them. And so we want to go through some components that we've put together to help with online grooming. The first, of course, is to educate. Raise awareness about the risk of online grooming and educate everyone about the signs of grooming behavior and how to stay safe online. The other one is implement. Use parental controls and privacy settings to safeguard their online experience. Communicate. Encourage open communication between parents, caregivers, and children about their online activities and set clear guidelines for safe internet usage. Also, monitor. Keep an eye on your children's online behavior, including websites they visit, the apps that they use, and the people they interact with online. Finally, report. Report any suspicious online behavior and inappropriate requests for personal information to the authorities or online platforms. Another call to action is the removal of unneeded apps. Removal of apps will help minimize data gathering on your personal information and also free up space on your device. So delete apps that you no longer use or you used it for one purpose and that purpose has been completed. Apps like Facebook, you can just use the browser instead of the actual app. The app is designed to collect a whole bunch of data on you, even information that doesn't pertain to the usage of the actual app. And then it autonomously sends this information back to the actual corporation that owns the app. So we always recommend if you don't need it, remove it. Also, our call to action is to be mindful of your data when you're online. Pick a length of time on your social media accounts like Facebook. If you have not chatted with someone within a length of time, say 2 years, just delete them, especially if you don't know them personally. Security questions. Now, we all have seen or used these questions as part of our layers of defense to authenticate who we are. It will either be for your bank account or your social media account. It is worth protecting, and using this method is a good one. But there is a threat to these questions being used against you. The level of risk by using these types of questions in conjunction with using your social media platforms can increase the possibility that you could have unknowingly or knowingly gave the answer to one of these questions. Our call to action is to reduce the chances of this information being compromised. You can use one or all three of the following methods to make your security questions more resilient to attacks. We can take, for example, what's the name of your oldest sibling? We can use a two-factor or multi-factor authentication account that provides this type of service. For answering the question regarding where did you get married, you can give the answer but encrypt it. For example, as you see here, North Carolina is spelled capital N 0 R T capital H underscore capital C at R O capital L 1 capital N capital A. You are giving the answer, but yet you are encrypting it. So that way, if someone does try to guess it, they would not figure out how you worded the actual answer, which can help make you more cyber resilient to that type of attack. Another method that we would like for you to try, for example, give a different answer. Okay, so instead of you saying, I graduated from this school, how about your answer should be the school that you wanted to go to as an option? Remember, we receive information from our six senses. The information is then stored in our subconscious, and our output responses are either one of the three or all three. So all three output responses are considered decisions. So let's take a look at the brain and the human operating system known as the mind. Before we get into this, I want to do a call to action to remind you that you must control what is introduced to your mind and minimize recognizable bad information. So, from our discussion about how we take in information and how our brain processes it, I want to share with you again a call to action to protect your decision making process. So, here are some steps again to make a decision. Once the information is downloaded into memory, it is then analyzed by your beliefs. Once it is processed by your belief, it is then given a level of value. After that has been established, it moves up to set your mindset. And from there, your conscious makes a decision. And so our call to action is to remind you that technological advancements do not always create positive results. Social media is no different. Why should we care what we see? Why should we care what we hear? Why should we care what we smell, what we taste, what we touch, and what we feel? From our research, life, and professional experience as cybersecurity experts, we understand that a person's mindset is the first line of defense when defending personal and corporate data. Ultimately, this presentation will give you more control over navigating this digital ecosystem and becoming more cyber resilient to attacks. Understanding processes makes it easier to troubleshoot faults and inefficiencies in human nature. So, our overall safety, operation, and protection for the future depends on us being proactive to address issues for ourselves before tragedy strikes. This is the true purpose of cybersecurity. We understand the importance of community. In Hacking Human Mind, we want to protect our businesses, our families, ourselves, to stop the hack, become more cyber resilient. Let's connect and protect the mind first. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Please follow us at Krafo Systems on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Or you can always contact us through our website and get a 30-minute free consultation. Thank you.